Good morning, dear friends, students, colleagues, my mentor, and the teachers. That you all like this series of videos IFMT, Industrial Flow Metering Techniques. And you've seen in this videos that first we started from the applications, then we go through the different properties of fluids, and we've seen many good things like continuity equation, and then the magic number, Reynolds number, its effect. Then we've seen the fully developed profile of any fluid, and that was the parabola. So after the huge demand from you all, we are again come up with a video for the ultrasonic flow meters. What we have seen there's a 5 major principles. Based on that, all the flow meterings are based. Then we seen on the basis of those 5 principles, there are 36 types of different flow meters. And we seen first flow meter as a DP, differential pressure flow meter. Then we seen electromagnetic flow meter. We have seen mass flow meter, and now we see rotameters. Now today's video we are going to see ultrasonic flow meters. So what is ultrasonic flow meter, how it works and all, we will see one by one in this series. Ultrasonic flow meter, how it works and all, we will see one by one in this series. Definition of ultrasonic flow meter is this. An ultrasonic flow meter measures the flow rate of liquids. Now with the advance of the technology, they can measure the gases and steams also. How they use high frequency sound wave, that's called the ultrasound. Okay, the doctor do the ultrasound. So same ultrasound, ultra waves, and this flow meter is a non-intrusive and highly accurate flow meter, and it measured widely used the different applications like water, wastewater, HVAC, chemical, oil and gas, refineries, and the custody transfers also. Okay, in this ultrasonic flow meter, what we are going to study? So these are the basic points we will going to study. That's are the principle, mathematical formula, construction, types, inline, spool, tampon, and insertion type. And then what more we will learn? Comparison, the inline, tampon installation, advantages, disadvantages, applications, few site photographs, and the interesting site issues. Because these ultrasonic flow meters, auditors, they use it to find out the efficiency and the productivity of a different things like pumps. Okay, we have to measure the temporary flow for the water audits, energy audits. So these ultrasonic clamp-on flow meter are used for that purpose, and we will see that. Apart from this, we will also see the actual clamp-on ultrasonic flow meter, how it looks, how we measure flow by using a ultrasonic clamp-on flow meter, what are the different kind of the sensors, and how it is clamped on the pipe. So this is the agenda of this series. Series may be lengthy, so we will make a series of this ultrasonic flow meters. Now you can see and you can understand the working of a ultrasonic flow meter, and for the ease, what you can imagine and understand that there is a pipe, and on the pipe is a pipe, or you can say this is the pipe. In the pipe you have a 2 sensors, diagonal sensors. One is placed here and the diagonally opposite one is fitted here. There are 2 sensors, A and the B. Both are talking to each others. Okay, so by measuring the time, this is the A, this is the B. So time taken to reach wave from here to here is a TAB, and from here to here is a TBA. The distance is known, and we know the velocity of the sound in a particular fluid. So we know the equation, very simple equation, V is equal to S by T. Chal barabar duri bate samay. And when we identify or calculated the V, means chal, means velocity, then my dear friend, in an earlier initial, when we are discussing the property of fluids, we discussed most of the flow meters are not flow meters. They are, tell me, they are velocity meters. Because we know the continuity equation, Q is equal to area into velocity. If I don't know the velocity of the fluid flowing through the pipe or the channel, we can easily calculate the Q. This is the basic principle. Now you see again this slide. What is happening here? I read for your benefit, basics of ultrasonic flow meter. What is the principle? The principle is transit time measurement. Okay, if someone will ask what is the principle of ultrasonic flow meters, the principle of ultrasonic flow meters is the transit time velocity. How it works? V is equal to S by T. Here S is the distance traveled and T is the time traveled. Acoustic signals are transmitted and received A to B, B to A along a diagonal measuring path. A sound wave going down stream with the flow travels faster than a sound wave going upstream against the flow. The difference in the transit time is directly proportional to the flow velocity of the liquid. Now you understand with this way. This is the pipe, and now we have two sensors. One sensor here, other sensor here. Now they both are, it is talking to this in this way and this is talking to this in this way. Now one more important thing is this velocity is the V. Okay, and this ultrasonic sound acoustic signal velocity is C. And now interesting thing you can see is the, here is the delta theta. This is the angle. Now you observe, when this A is talking to B, then the direction of the flow, the component will be C cos theta. And when B is giving signal to A, then again it is the C cos theta. But there is a difference. When A is talking to B, what is happening? This V plus C cos theta. Hello. And when B is talking to the A, that time is a V minus C cos theta. Same is written over here. A sound wave going downstream with the flow travels faster than a sound wave going upstream against the flow. My dear friends, when we discuss fluid mechanics, that time we discussed what is the upstream, what is the downstream. Okay, when we talk about the flow meters, orifice, when we talk about magnetic flow meter, when we talk about the vortex flow meter, then we talk about the straight runs, and then we talk about how much straight runs is required at the upstream and how much required for downstream when flow is from here to here. Same thing is here, you can see here, and same thing is written over here. When A is talking to B, it is faster. When B is talking to A, it is not faster, it is slower. Why? Because the minus C cos theta component comes in a picture. Now one more thing, the distance traveled by A to B and B to A are same. Now the velocity is more from A to B, so time from TAB, if I write here TAB, it is faster, will be lesser than TBA, but L, this distance from here to here will be always same. Then we will use formula V is equal to S by T. And by using this formula for both the path A to B and B to C, we can calculate velocity, and we get the velocity, then things are simpler. Q is equal to area into velocity. Got it? Okay. Now you see whatever I talked, whatever I shown, now I want to show you how it's happening. Now you see. Okay. Here you are seeing another diagram, and this diagram is this diagram. What is showing? It is showing here, if you see this yellow one, this blue one, it is the point velocity. Means if I am having only two sensors, then my profile is a fully developed, and fully developed profile is a parabola. So it is cutting at this point, it's a velocity. But when velocity is changing, I want a more accuracy, then I am increasing the number of path. Here you see how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I am increasing the path to increase the velocity. So what we do? V1, V2, V3, and we are getting the mean of that. So we say it is the more sensors we are using to increase the accuracy of ultrasonic flow meters. Now you see two types here. These both are, you can say this is the inline and this is the clamp on. Here you see the sensor is on the pipe. So they are tied with some kind of chain or some other arrangement. They tied here, and in between there is a grease. Here at the side they do this kind of the hole with some angle, and they weld a spool. On the spool there is a sensor, and this arrow you are seeing means they are both are talking to each other. Now again you can see in this picture different type. The spool type is the inline. So what's happening? High frequency sound of a frequency above the upper limit of the normal range of human hearing, which is about the 20 kilohertz. What is the principle? It is the time of flight, and now it's a verbose to solve this equation. So what they are saying? Transit time meters operate on the principle that speed of the transit of an ultrasonic signal depends on the speed of the fluid through which it travels. If it is a water, if it is some other fluid, there will be a different sound velocity. Second thing, analogous to the boat traveling with or against the current. You remember C cos theta? When it is the way of the current, it's a plus. When it's against, it is the minus C cos theta. And the third point is net velocity of signal is equal to the velocity of a sound plus the component of the fluid velocity in the direction of the flow. Means V plus C cos theta or V minus C cos theta. So to understand, you have to know these 3 points which we already discussed in a previous slides too.